Hey, perfect spirit. I'm Sam Shelley, and they call me the Miracle Man. Now, let's create that miracle, that transformation in your life right here, right now. We only have a limited amount of time, so we need to get rid of this head trash as quickly as possible so we can live the best expression of ourselves as perfect spirit, the real you. So, if you're new to my channel, welcome. Like, subscribe to this channel. I talk about getting rid of this head trash, and I do different videos every day. It could be sometimes live on Sunday and Monday, and sometimes I do these pre-recorded videos. So today I want to talk about our perspective. Are we seeing life really as it is? Are we seeing it as the mind colors it, if you will? That we're not really seeing life as it is. And I think it was Wayne Dyer said, if you change the way you look at things, the things will change. What did he actually say? What did Wayne Dyer say, that quote? If you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. Something like that when about changing the way you look at things. And we really want to look at things from this deeper place, not so much from our mental bias, but from this deeper place. Seeing it from spirit, from soul, from consciousness, to realize that everything we see is neutral, that it's not good or bad, it's just neutral until the mind creates a judgment onto that item. And we're doing this a lot with people that we see, based maybe on their clothing, their appearance, and we judge them. And is that really fair to them? If we just say, oh, there's perfect spirit wearing this disguise, there's perfect spirit wearing that disguise, oh, perfect spirit's looking like this, like this, like this, to realize that we're all perfect spirit doing our best. And even something simple as the mouse has the same energy as perfect spirit, because ultimately there is one energy, and everything splits and divides from there into different forms, like it's all quantum particles at its essence. And we're the consciousness, the intelligence behind those particles. You could say that each one of those particles has that consciousness, that awareness. And it just gets really mind-boggling. But we just really want to see, are we looking at everything from a place of spirit, from love, compassion, acceptance? I think that acceptance is probably the hardest for most people. They can't accept that this is their journey, that the mind always wants to interfere in their journey. And if they're your child, then maybe you give them advice, say, this is probably the best way to go for you. And I know Wayne Dyer talked a lot about non-interference, letting kids be kids, letting them making their own discoveries. And yes, we want them to make their own discoveries, yet at the same time, we want to keep them safe, because they may not be aware, hey, it's not safe for you to do this, it's not safe for you to do that. But you want them to have those experiences. But you don't want to be such a control freak, if you will. You want them to have those experiences. If they're not in danger, what they're doing isn't dangerous, then let them go play, let them go experiment. Because that's how we learn, is through different experiences, through experimenting. If we just live in a glass bubble all the time, then we're not really learning, we're not really growing. We become limited, like we don't want to become limited, we want to be expansive. So that's when I talk to people about their health challenges. I just want to see, what have you tried? And most people have tried traditional medicine, but they haven't wandered out beyond that. And it's scary to wander outside your comfort zone. Well, have you tried this? Have you tried to sit quietly and see what is best for you? And they sort of look at you puzzled when you say, do you sit quietly and see what is best for you? Because they don't understand themselves as spirit, as consciousness. They only know themselves as this projection. I am MS, I am multiple sclerosis, I am bipolar, I am cancer, I am this, I am that. That we really get identified with our labels like cancer. So how have you dealt with cancer? Well, I see my doctors, I do this, I do that. But have you gone within to see how to treat your cancer? Is this the best way for you? But not through this mental guessing, though. That's where it's a challenge for people because we're never taught how to go inward to really discover our own answers from perfect spirit. That spirit knows the way. With beyond doubt, the spirit within you, your soul, your consciousness knows the way forward, the next step. But most cannot hear that voice or trust that voice or believe or have faith in that voice because they're so taught, so identified with their mind. It would be great if we had classes as we're growing up in like kindergarten, having quiet relaxation time to really discover that you are that peace. Then each year you just, maybe for the first couple of years, you just teach them that piece. Then as they get older, you teach them self-inquiry processes or how to look at things and question, why do I believe this to be true? And constantly being curious, not accepting the answers that are just thrown at them. If somebody tells you something, just don't accept it as your truth. Listen to it, absorb it, then sit with it, bounce it around, see how it feels. Does it feel like your truth? Or does it feel like somebody's agenda that's coming at you? Do this, behave, do this, comply. And maybe that's not the best path for you. That's not sitting in your truth. But really, we're talking about perspective, and I get into these tangents because that's the most important thing is seeing things from a place of spirit, not taking things at face value, diving beyond those appearances that they're trying to force us. And school is really about forcing things on you. This is the way it is. These are the rules. But why is that the truth? How do we know this really happened? And maybe if we're seeing history, it's usually telling from one perspective. It's not seeing it from another perspective or another, because we're dealing with the bias of the author, the person who wrote that, and trying to see from different sides, like to get up out of your seat and move 5 feet to the right, move 5 feet to the left, then look at the situation. You might see things a little differently, or envision yourself in their shoes if they're a victim. Something horrible happened to them. Try to sit in their shoes and try to have that experience. But the mind just is quick to judge that we can't really step into someone's shoes. We don't have those same thoughts, the same perspective, because our thoughts are different, and our thoughts create our perspectives, our beliefs, our opinions. Are you really seeing things from within you, that consciousness, that spirit, the place of neutrality, that all is well, until the mind tells you it's either this or that? But why is that the truth? Why is that bias the truth? And we have to be curious about life. We just can't constantly accept things that are coming our direction because it may not be in our best interest. Like these self-help books tell you about this one specific way to do things, and these really complex, in-depth meditations, really complex procedures, these rituals, these routines. That's why in my 2 books I said, here's some practices. Do which one resonates with you, because you're going to have a different blueprint, a different recipe. But these are some of the things I have done. If they work for you, great. If they don't, let them go. And please don't follow me constantly for your truth. Always go within and find your own truth. And I always go back to what Anya Shante says to his audience. I'm lying to you. What is true for you? This is my perspective. But you're not going to hear that from a lot of teachers. They're going to say, this is the way you must follow. And it's like, no, it isn't. We all have are different ways. Yes, it may mirror your path to a certain point, but at some points there's going to be divisions a little bit separate because your energy will be a little bit different on how you slept, the foods that you're eating, the experiences you're having. That's all a little bit different. So it's important that we need to look at different perspectives, different viewpoints, question everything, be curious about life, don't accepting things at face value. Discover, have fun, enjoy life. It's a short time that we're here. All right, take good care of yourself, and I'll talk to you soon.